How does your screen time look like? This or that? Well, let's just take this for an example. Let's say that you average about 8 hours a day on your phone. And if we do the math, we can come to the conclusion that adds up to 56 hours a week, 224 hours a month, and 2,920 hours a year, which that adds up to 112 days a year. Well, what is screen addiction? We're living in a time where it's really easy for us to pick up our phones and be on it for hours and feeling like it has gone by 5 minutes. With the existence of Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we can say that we have unlimited dopamine. And we can see that what is going on outside of this country and in the whole entire world. According to Premier Health, they identify screen addiction as a group of behaviors that are negative, some negative outcomes that can happen when you use too much technology during our day. We all have our phones daily and we use them 24/7 to see what is going on, what time is it, set reminders, and all of the other stuff. Before we jump into what are the different types of screen addiction, let's first see how can we identify if somebody is addicted to their screen. Well, according to family specialists, we can see that there are some signs that we can see, and those signs are using digital devices for pleasure, using devices more and more, even though you know that it is bad, ignoring important tasks for technology, continuing to use the devices despite the problem.
Now that we have already talked about some of the common signs of screen addictions, we're going to go dive deep into different types of screen addictions. And based on our research, some of the most common screen addiction type are gaming addictions, social media addictions, online gambling addictions, and online shopping addiction. So let's dive deep into the first type, which is the gaming addictions. So ever since the pandemic of 2020, gamers and developers have created they have created their games in a way that hit every dopamine level of all the users. And because of the accessibility of phone and laptop, games has becoming so easy to download and to use, and it takes zero effort to start a game. And some of the popular games rising during this time is Fortnite, World of Warcraft, League of Legends has been around for a while. And the way they make users become addicted to this kind of video game is by making them achieving certain goals, complete certain tasks, and this create a dopamine spike in the users. And this is why a lot of users have experiencing a lot of addictions by neglecting a lot of their daily tasks and important tasks throughout the day just to make time to play video games. And this has becoming a severe problem. And in general, gaming also created a sense of community, like a fake community that keep the player hooked into the game even more. When they don't participate in the game, they feel like they're lonely because they don't have a community of friends around them. This is especially true during the time of the pandemic, and which is why gaming addiction is on the rise and it can still continue to affect people in a very negative way. Going to evaluate the second type of screen addictions, and that's going to be social media addictions. And unlike gaming addictions, social media addiction can be seen as worse because they generate a lot more users throughout the years. And the way social media apps works is that they trying to give users content continuously without any ending point. So users just keep scrolling and scrolling, and they will continue to see new content every time they scroll. What users don't understand is that behind the scene of these social media apps like Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, or whatnot, there are hundreds of top-level engineers and even psychologists from around the world trying to understand the human psychologies and make the app in a way that is more engaging, more exciting every time you scroll. And this has created a problem in users experience a lot of screen time where they neglect their personal work, responsibilities, and priorities simply just to stay at home, laying on their bed and scrolling on social medias. Now, Social media, on the other hand, also have create a lot of problem in terms of making a lot of users feel lonely because they don't really have a lot of friends. They don't really have a lot of good friends, but the friends that they friends on their social media apps are fake, and the community has a lot of have a lot of negative effect on users, making them feel insecure and making them have a lot of body dysmorphia. For that reason, social media is considered worse compared to other addictions like gaming, etc. For the sole purpose of easy of access, and they are so popular. Alright, so the last type of screen addictions based on our research is that it's going to be online shopping addictions. A lot of us have experiencing the excitement when we purchasing something online. It is the convenience and the ease of use within these applications like Amazon, like Gymshark, or any other online shop are there. The reason why people are more participating in those apps, and those apps are becoming more popular over years, is because of how convenient they are in general. But it also poses another problem, which is a lot of users have a lot of compulsive buying decisions. And according to the American Psychiatric Association, they label this as the compulsive buying disorder in a lot of people, where they could not stop the feeling of dopamine hits every time they're searching for a product or trying to buy something. And a lot of time, users would generally that spend a lot of their money and neglecting a lot of their important tasks throughout their day just to be on their phone scrolling and buying a lot of the stuff that they don't really need. So based on our research, we have found that a lot of the time users feel a sense of emptiness, which is why they spend a lot of the money trying to find the next purpose, the next dopamine hit based on buying new things every time. Which is why
You might think that it's really easy to quit social media addiction if you know that you have it. But what you don't know is that for people who have social media addiction, they don't realize that they have a problem. According to a website called Choosing Therapy, they say that there are many ways if you want to quit using smartphones, laptops, iPads, or any form of technology. And those include, you can choose the display to be black and white, so the amount of dopamine that you get gets limited and it gets boring after time. And the other one is turning off your notifications, so you don't get notified and you don't have the dopamine rush of like, oh my god, I wonder what is that, I want to see it. You don't get that anymore, and it's gonna become easier day by day to quit. And another one is deleting your social media accounts on your phone, so when you go out, you don't have whenever you have the urge, you pick up your phone, but you realize that you're logged out and you cannot log in. It's in your computer at home. So slowly you limit your time and you quit it. There are many other ways to overcome these problems. You can go to a therapist, a psychologist, and get advice from people who have already been through it. In today's world, we all know how addicting social media and smartphones can be, especially when you walk around a university campus. In my experience, whenever I walk around Virginia Tech campus, I see that almost everyone has their phones and their headphones in. And this is actually a very big problem because this grows by every single day. According to the BMC Psychiatry, a study was done on 1,546 first-year students. That all the study focused on procrastination, academic burnout, self-control, fear of missing out, and low self-esteem. And they were all directly correlated and influenced by the usage of smartphones and social media. The highest rate of social media addiction is among the university students, and year by year and day by day, this increases. And there is nothing to be done about it, because with all these social media, every day people crave more dopamine. If we go in more detail, we can see that according to Frontiers, there was a study done that included 4,846 young adults between the age of 11 to 20. And in that study, it was found out that 21.2% experienced social media addiction, 17.1% experienced learning difficulties due to social media addiction. They had a harder time focusing. And on non-school days, students used averaging 6.7 hours on their phones, on their social medias and technologies. And 18.2% of them reported that they spent more than 10 hours on their phones, and 13.3% of them reported that they used at least 13 hours a day on their phone, which this can be a big problem because 13 hours is more than half a day, as we can all see it from this graph right here. So if you were about to change something about a social media app or any other app out there to limit the usage time, what would you change?
I would put a hard deadline on each app, as in, let's just say if the user decided that, okay, I have a lot of addictions and I only want to use social media for 5 hours a day. They will put the timer in there and the app will automatically close after 5 hours without any excuses or without any password for the user to go back in again. That's what I would change. That's how I would change it.
For me, let's just say if I were about to customize an app like Instagram, what I would do is whenever you sign up for the app, I will make you choose 3 goals in life. So I'm gonna go deeper than not using it only. I wanna make the app help you reach your dreams rather than just not use it. So what I would do is I will have the feature of your feed will only get access to the stuff that is related to your dreams and helps you move forward in life, not just useless dopamines. And I will also make the same hard deadline as Joseph said, after 2 hours, no matter what, a day. After 2 hours, the app shuts down until 24 hours later. So if you stop using it at 11 p.m., it opens at 11 p.m.